Another thing that you can also do to make your routes better is a deep in route. Now, a deep in route does occasionally get open and it also doesn't get open. Another trick is that you can roll out and it will 9 times out of 10 be there, but you have to freeform it to get there, which we will get into freeforming too. Let me get a play with a deep out route. This is a play with a deep out route. Now, it's like this. It's like a zig route, except you want the corner to sit there. If you start noticing that the cornerback starts to sit there and wait on the routes or wait on the short routes, then you'll try to, and it's zone coverage too. And you notice that this is zone coverage, then you can throw this out route and it'll be wide open. You just have to trust it and let the play develop because it will take a little bit for it to develop. Notice as it takes me 3 seconds to get this ball out, you have to have a little bit of time. You can also roll out a little bit and this will still be there. But it does take a little bit of time for things like that to get open. In flat routes, another thing that I really like about flat and drag routes is that 9 times out of 10, they just clear up space. Like, look, on this play here, I will audible him to do a flat route. If this flat route will probably be open because that linebacker there will get chopped, and since just because he's a tight end, 9 times out of 10 they'll catch the ball. But on a play like that where I had no time to throw the football, I can't get that ball out fast enough for that to get there. Another thing I would like to go over is comeback routes. These routes seem dumb and pointless in that you never throw them, but as you can see here, they can be huge play gainers, especially if you have a receiver that has mid-out elite like Devonta Smith. He can get the ball. He can get the ball here within 5 seconds. And AJ Brown, who has, I believe, he has short out. Step up in the pocket, bad ball. But if he throws a good ball, that gets there and that's a first down. Comeback routes are amazing for if you need quick yards and you have a horrible quarterback that cannot get the football there. And I really like those routes. Now, free form passing. A lot of people are confused about the whole free form passing thing and how it leads receivers farther because it would seem dumb. But to freeform, you also press LT and then throw it to the guy that you're looking at. So I'll try it here. I'll freeform here. You also do need a good quarterback, or you need to step up into the pocket and then throw it. Shown here. Couldn't freeform that one. But what is that animation? But this is a freeform. It's a deep pass. I want to lob it farther, but he can't hit it because he doesn't have a good enough, whatever it is. He doesn't have a good enough awareness, so he can't really hit freeforms that well. Yeah, and then the line gets killed. But yes, if you have time and you can freeform a pass, you can lead somebody farther, and you'll get more yards on plays that are either wide open or less open. Lobbing the ball, also, you should know when to freeform or not. So right there, do not freeform that because that will not get open because it's a harder thing for your quarterback to throw. So he will not hit that pass. Another thing that's also very, very important to know how to do is reading the cover, is reading defenses, post and pre-play. So pre-play right now, this looks like cover two. This looks like cover two, but I know this isn't because, but I know this is because the safety is farther back. Two safeties are back and they're off the ball. So right now, I knew that was cover two because the safety was back, and then the post play read was the safeties started moving and they had to choose between which guy to cover. Shown here, because this is bench. Bench usually beats man coverage. If I get that ball there before and earlier, I didn't throw it there, of course, because I don't know why I didn't. But I tried to freeform this ball deeper down the field because he had him beat. I just didn't freeform it in the right direction. But man coverage is beaten by bench. Bench leaves people open no matter what if you run man coverage. and by other play action and motion passes shown here. It leaves somebody open on every single time. Let's see if we can get something in the zone. This is another man coverage play. Yeah, it's a man blitz. Oh, can't get that over. Is there going to be zone coverage? No, there is not. That is zone. Let me try to show y'all man zone coverage. You can also tell if this is zone coverage, because this zone coverage here, that safety, my bad, corner, is 5 yards off the ball. Man is 9 times out of 10, it is going to be off ball, very off ball, 10 yards of separation. That's when you usually want to run a streak or a whip or a post. And usually the safety, there will be one high safety. So this right here is zone, and I'm guessing that it's cover 4, and it is not. It is Tampa 2, and that will be open, but my receiver just dropped it. So on that, you can tell that it's Tampa 2 whenever the cornerback starts sitting there. His job is to just push. So the second he pushes this, I see it, and I'm getting rid of this ball now, which this should have been a catch, but somehow he drops it. But that is what cover 2 would look like. My bad, Tampa 2 would look like. This is very dangerous, because if you start running those zig routes over and over, that corner who's supposed to be doing that deep jab will start cheating down, shown here. It can also, another bad thing about running Tampa 2 too, is that whip routes can be open. If you have an X Factor corner, then he'll start reading it. If you don't, he'll get beat every time. And the thing about Tampa 2 too is that it leaves the middle open. Even though it has three deep yellow zones in the middle, it will leave the middle open. So you do have to use the linebacker there in order to actually stop a play from Tampa 2. My bad. And if you're on the defense, you have to man user him to stop something. I'll try to freeform this pass here, and it's dropped again. But that was what the freeform would look like. It just gave me more power to lead him and not get picked by the corner.
Got it. Ready?
Freeform. There we go. It's also very dangerous whenever you run post routes and then you're in Tampa 2. Another thing that's dangerous too is invert, because invert plays will beat you up. As you can see here, corner's 10 yards off the ball, but he stays. Let me just chuck it up. He was not going to grab that. Yes, but cover 2 invert or Tampa 2 invert, very, very dangerous, because you will see that the other side is also deep back, but those 3 linebackers are there. I like invert, but only for if they're throwing the ball deep every single time, because I can use that safety and get down there and cover Julio. Because reading this, you would think, oh, Julio beat his guy, he's wide open. You have to freeform this to the sideline here in order to actually get this ball here. And if you don't do it right, this safety is going to blow that up, because his read is literally only guarding Julio, since we only have run one route there. Yeah, and sometimes freeforms end up like that.
Let's go now.
But yes, if it's invert too, it's dangerous, and the corner will also read that, because the safety's supposed to come down and crash if he sees the guy running the whip. That coverage is specifically designed to stop whip routes, which is not very good if you were me and you were on 4th down and 1. Since I do love running whip routes on the goal line, since it does work, 90% of the time, whip routes work on the goal line. What a bad ball. And that's picked.
Let's go.
It's a really, really bad ball. And my own lineman ran into me. Nice.
Ready up. Let go.
Another thing too is a shallow post. These are absolutely amazing. Which are pretty much the same thing as deep posts, but you know they're so shallow. Let me go up in a 5 wide. Where's a 5 wide? I want 5 wide. I want wide. There, yeah. This works. Another thing that you also might want to know how to use is an in route. In routes are crazy, and if you freeform them, it'll literally go straight to them, and you cannot pick it. But if they're covered, then you can't do that. Another thing is, too, do not panic. If you get sacked, do not panic. Because that is how people beat you. If you start getting panicked in this game, then you will lose. And you might think, oh, he's beat right there. You can throw a go ball, but 90% of the time he'll keep running his route. And right here, you can't fit that ball in. And I'm already going down at that point. Let me get an in route. I freeformed that in there, and as you can see, it's pretty much a direct like hit to the receiver. And sometimes, if you know your quarterback can zip it, you will get that ball there. Let me motion him inside to show you guys. Bad ball. Ooh, I got red. Got red again.
Here we go, shot. Go.
Dude, you gotta get the ball there quicker. Oh my God.
Ready.
That was man coverage. And also, as you can see here, perfect example. This, to the quarterback, this would look like a direct, like, all you have to do is get that just barely in front of him. And if he just doesn't need to get hit. I led the ball straight into him. I led the ball like that. So that he can get the ball there the second, you can't lead that. He'll drop it if you lead it. Shown here. He got actually real lucky that he caught that. But it will not look pretty. And 90% of the time, that animation means that you drop it. But yes, it will. In a deep in route or a shallow in route is a very, very, very good route that I do love running. And also on a go, if you know that's Tampa 2, people will trick you with inverts like that. And then you will throw an interception. And once you throw a pick, you'll realize whenever the corner goes back, oh, that's just open. There we go. But if you look and realize, you'll see that the cornerback will just sit there and he'll try to read you. This is a DB blitz. He couldn't get it there. You'll see, let me get a good coverage. Yeah, like right there. If it's true Tampa 2, the corner will sit there and he won't move like slanted. Because that play that I threw that interception, DB sat there and shifted. He shifted to like right here. And whenever I threw that deep post, he got all the way over there. Because that's his assignment. You'll notice it whenever you do that. And then you will throw a pick probably, which won't be good. But you'll now realize that he likes to run invert. And then you'll know all the other routes that you can run on that. Another thing too is blocking adjustments, because blocking adjustments are important. As you've seen, they sent some heat. I can motion in a guy,
Go street.
set a double team with LB, move my controller down, and then set up who I want to double team. I want to double team him, and they didn't do it, but I got the ball there, and he dropped it. Because Kelsey was a one-on-one, and they sent in somebody extra. You can also make your running backs go in for blocks if you press Y. Y again, and then you press block. He'll come in there, and then he'll block. As shown here, he saved me from that little defensive lineman, and I couldn't get the ball anywhere. But he does stay there, and he starts blocking. Another thing too is whenever you want to motion out a receiver, or you want to check if this is man coverage or not, there will be somebody that follows him if it's zone coverage. If it's man coverage, then nobody will follow him, and it'll be like the entire team is switching. It'll be like, look, let me demonstrate. This is zone again. Another zone beater is if you go into empty, streak him, and he'll be right there.
Ready? 60 Maverick. Ready. Hut. Dragon 60.
Bad ball.
Come on. Set. Riggs. Rig alert.
This is zone. This looks like cover 3. It is. And that's a horrible pass. Oh my goodness.
Ready.
Dead. Quit running that.
Cup 19.
Alright. But if you see it, ooh, that's a good screen. And also, you can also do swing passes like that and set up bubble screens. I'll show you here real fast. You can set up bubble screens like this. You just have to get the ball out quick and make sure he runs deep. And then that'll be covered. And if you don't like it, you can just take off with your quarterback and carry it. Well, hope I taught you something new today. And now you know all my secrets.